at BrookfieldTaxPlanning.com. That's BrookfieldTaxPlanning.com.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
I'd like to welcome you to WCPT AM's Out Chicago. Think of us as Sunday brunch with your gay best friends. Now please welcome your host, Scott Duff.
And a happy Sunday fun day to everybody out there. Scott Duff here along with Ellen Miller.
Bear down.
Yes, Chicago Bears. I don't know that.
Make every play clear the way to victory.
Yeah, they beat the Packers in the fourth quarter.
How sweet it is.
There we go.
Even Scott knows.
It's
nationwide, baby.
Okay, sure. Yeah, sports.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you are a sports fan or lesbian, congratulations. There you go. There you Bears
Or both.
Or both. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Bears won.
Bears won, and they won in that typical cardiac Bears fashion. It was
in the fourth quarter.
Oh my God!
You are.
If you're a fan, Scott, it was just crazy.
It sounded like it was a great game. I was listening to all the coverage this morning,
it really
just so
was.
I could be, aware of what's going on in the world.
Great.
Yeah. So apparently, it was a nail biter.
It was. It could have been a lot different. I mean, had they won after coming back, lost after coming back the way they did, it would have been even worse, than them getting blown out because they were so close. But they did it, and we're happy today here.
Yay.
Devin and I are wearing our Bears attire, and it's a good way to start out Chicago.
Well, wonderful.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I know you're thrilled for
I
us.
am. I'm watching people give each other concussions. It's a fun thing to do. Yes. Sorry, don't ask me questions about sports. I will pee in the pool.
I'm not asking you questions about sports.
But I'm glad. Go Chicago, and
It's good for Chicago. We need some good news here in Chicago. We had a rough few months with what's been going on.
We do need some good news. So congratulations. They'll be playing again this coming weekend here at Soldier Field. We don't know if it's going to be against the Eagles or the Rams, but there we go.
Very good.
And they have played against the Eagles, but they haven't played against the Rams. So
It's going to be.
Do you have
a preference?
Yeah.
I think we've already beat up on the Eagles. Let's beat up on the Rams.
Oh, all right. There we go.
I don't know. What does Devin think?
It's definitely a tough one here. It's like the Rams were definitely one of the better teams going in, but they almost lost to the Panthers, who had a losing record yesterday.
Yes, that's
so anything can happen here.
All
the Rams
right.
might be interesting, but we did have the Eagles number, so who knows?
Either way, we're looking
Either way,
good.
it's going to be great.
It's not going to be the Pack.
So wait, okay. So I do have a question.
Sure.
So I know they haven't won a playoff game in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
So this is so how many more games do they play before they decide Super Bowl-y type things?
Well, that would be 3 more games.
Is that what happened?
Yeah,
3?
there would be 3.
So they have to win all 3.
Yes.
To go to the Super Bowl.
Yes, the third would be the Super Bowl.
Oh, the third is so only 2 more games to decide who goes to the Super
Right.
Bowl.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is sports for dummies.
Yes, that's okay.
Okay, so they have to win 2 more games.
Yes.
Oh, who's on the other side? That's in.
Well, a lot of good teams.
No, but not for. because there's division. Help me out here. There's divisions.
Yes.
And we're in which one?
We're in the central of the north. The north.
NFC North.
NFC North, and then there's the AFC. Is that what's
AFC is the other side? Yes.
Other side. So who is over there that's cooking?
Well,
Let's
do you
see,
know?
The Steelers, they're in Rodgers again. They managed to squeak their way into the playoffs.
Okay.
We got the Patriots taking on the Chargers today.
But we don't like the Patriots because of tacky balls.
That's
past.
almost 10 years ago.
I know, but I'm holding on to that one. I'm holding on to that one for a long time.
I don't mind the Patriots anymore. I like the Patriots.
We're okay with the Patriots now?
Drake May, the young guy who isn't cheating, allegedly.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, okay.
I
Well,
root for the good guys, where I can find them. People with good, characters that do well. Like, Caleb Williams is a class act. I really believe he's a class act. In a lot of ways. No, he's our quarterback.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
You're trying, Scott.
I'm sorry. I'm trying. All right. Well, there we are. So
there's no bad questions. Remember that.
I know. There are no bad questions. There we are. And there are no bad guests. We've got a great show for you today. Equality Illinois is getting ready for its 2026 gala on January 31st. And Equality Illinois CEO Channyn Lynne Parker is going to be joining us later this hour to talk about the upcoming night of inspiration and community, and also just kind of look at what's coming down the road, because there's a lot I don't even think it's coming down the road. I think that it is here. It is here along the road. And author and historian Owen Keehnen has a new book chronicling the lost world of the 70s and 80s queer nightlife in Chicago. It's called Gay Chicago Memories, 1300 North Wells. And he's going to be joining us to talk about it. And I about came undone. So she is a Tony-nominated and Emmy-winning star of stage and screen. She is a tireless activist and one of the most brilliant comedic minds of our times. And she is returning to Chicago for Suzy Eddie Izzard Talks Shakespeare and Stuff, forsooth, a 2-night only special at the Chicago Shakespeare. And we had a chance to chat with Suzy Eddie Izzard earlier this week.
Yeah, it was really, really good to talk to her.
Girl.
Great
it was
guest.
so great, and she's the chatty one. That one.
She's one of the wind-ups.
There we are. Just wind her up and go. There we are. So we're going to be playing our conversation with Suzy Eddie Izzard in the second hour. And, of course, you can always listen live Sundays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central at 8:20 a.m. on TuneIn from heartlandsignal.com or watch the live video stream on the WCPT Facebook page or the Heartland Signal YouTube page. And, of course, we would love to hear from you. So give us a call at 773-763-9278. That number again is 773-763-9278. And of course, you can always text us as well at that same number, 773-763-9278. If you don't feel like chatting, but you want to get your opinions out there. There we go. So how was your week? You're doing all right?
We did some post-holiday chilling. I mean, a lot less going on by both, by design and just because it is the first full week after the holidays. Took down the decorations. Kathy did most of it, I have to admit, because she does
like all
that.
of it. She puts it up. She takes it all down.
I helped a little.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah. I had to go for my fitness walks. Anyway, so we just kind of chilled at home. Did just kind of regrouping, getting healthy, eating healthy meals, working out, just getting our house in order. I did get out on Friday night. My little brother his band played at Carol's on Clark Street. And a fun band. He's in a band called the Jeff Givens Band. It's a country rock band. And he's got this like, what you call a, what's it called? The kind
I don't
of music
know.
He plays. It's like, not metal, but kind of, heavier rock, a heavier rock band. And I support my brother.
A heavier rock country band?
No. Just heavy rock band.
Oh, okay.
Heavy rock band.
So good rock and roll.
Yeah. It's not classic rock and roll. It's like a metal kind of rock and roll. And we go and support him when we can because he's a great guitar player. But it's not exactly.
It's not your jam.
Not my jam. But when he plays in the country rock band, it's. We're all over it. So we were there at Carol's. They invited me up to do a tune, so I got to jam with my little brother.
All right, that's always exciting. Always exciting
and then
stuff.
Just gearing up for the Bears last night and a little Golden Globes tonight. I mean, our minds really were. Really on what happened in Minneapolis. I mean, this is what really matters this week. Forget about all the social things that I like to do. The reality of protesters being murdered, executed, shot. It's chilling and it's frustrating and it's in our psyches and it's in all of our psyches. And here in Chicago, we've had a great resistance. We've had people coming out in our neighborhoods, taking video, standing up, getting tear gassed. And, all we can think about is it could have been one of us. It could have been one of our friends, one of our neighbors.
And that's what's happening up in Minneapolis right now.
Yeah. So the week on Wednesday, everything kind of turned towards, to me, the attention towards what was going on up there.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I reached out to the Gailey Show guys, who you can hear them here at 10 o'clock on the weekdays, just to be like, hey, you guys are going through a lot. How are you doing?
And
and they were like, they're just kind of
numb,
flabbergasted. Yeah, they were like, I can't believe that all of this is happening here in Minnesota, of all places. Like that this is happening, and they were like, they're very appreciative of like,
Minnesota of all places. Yeah,
I mean, there's a whole thing about Minnesota nice.
Yeah,
it's true. I spent some time in Minneapolis decades ago. It's been a hot minute, but I was doing a show that was based out of there. I did a tour that was out of there, and I was like, got to spend some time in Minneapolis. It's a great city, and the people really are nice. There is a Minnesota nice, and just the fact that this is all just going down right now, it's bonkers.
It's heartbreaking. One of my dear friends, Janet, and Janet usually listens to the show. She's coming over tonight for the Golden Globes. She's from Minneapolis originally, and she was distraught. I mean, she said, "I can't sleep. I'm so upset." And I said, "Got to turn it off right now."
Oh, I know. Well, no, there are people who I work with at the snack factory. He's like, "Hi, yeah, that was down the street from where I lived." Mm-hmm. You know, it's like it's.
And she's one of us. You know, Renee Good was one of us. Mm-hmm. She was a lesbian. You know, we are white people. She's a white lesbian. I'm a white lesbian. She was out there standing up for her rights, standing up for the people that can't stand up for themselves because they're being railroaded and they're being thrown into cars and thrown into detention camps and deported. She was one of us. We are Renee Good, and it just hurts. It hurts to the very core to see the video, to see what happened to her.
Yeah, and her wife's response, you know, we brought whistles, they brought guns.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, the rhetoric coming from the president, the vice president.
Yes, I have a lot to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we want to get into it now or wait,
go.
But basically calling her a domestic terrorist.
No, he's not the only one.
I know, they all are. And you know what? Shame on them. Tim McVeigh, the Oklahoma bomber, is a domestic terror. Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, he's a domestic terrorist. This woman is not a domestic terrorist. How dare you pass judgment? They're corrupt. They have the FBI, as we know, taking over this. They're not including the state authorities. Yep. It reeks. It stinks of corruption and manipulation and lies. And he's out there today saying, "I defend the rights of protesters in Iran for supporting democracy." I'm like, how dare you? How dare you, you hypocrite?
Yeah.
You're killing our protesters here.
This is what it's called. It's called fascism.
Fascism.
That is what it's called.
Fascism.
That is call it what it is. And I know this week, George Orwell has been thrown around a whole lot this week. The line from 1984 that seems to be making the round right now is, "The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command." And that is what's been going on. And this is not new. If you recall, Trump 1.0, he actually said, "Don't believe what you are seeing or hearing about me. Just believe whatever I say." Mm-hmm. He said that out loud during his first whatever that was. Mm-hmm. You know, like I started last year, I think it was after the election. I'm not sure if it was after like the start of the new year, but I believe it was after the election when when somehow people lost their minds and reelected this turd of a man, and I came on the air and I said, you know what, freedom is hard and fascism is easy. Yep. And I just didn't realize how quickly all of that would come true on the become our just national reality. This is happening right now. Just a reminder, folks, fascism is a far-right authoritarian political ideology centered on a powerful dictator, extreme nationalism, militarism, and the subordination of individual rights to the state, forcefully suppressing all opposition and controlling society and the economy for national unity, often with racism and glorification of a past era and opposing democracy and communism. Now, does any of that ring a bell? Let's see. Wannabe dictator. Check. Extreme nationalism. Check. Militarism. Yeah. Ask anybody in Minneapolis, Chicago, Los Angeles, Portland, Memphis. I could go on and on and on. Check. Suppressing opposition. Look at all of social media. Look at all of social media. Look at CBS. Look at newspapers shutting down. The list goes on and on. Kids, we're in it. We're in it right now.
Yeah. And
we've got to figure out how to combat it.
Yeah, I don't know. We can wait until the midterm
We can't
elections,
wait until the midterm elections.
No,
we need to
gotta
be
do
out there
something
right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there are a couple of protests that are planned today.
There's a vigil from 4 o'clock to 5 in front of the Tin Man at Oz Park.
Oz Park,
telling people to bring a candle.
4 o'clock.
To remember Renee Good. Just to, bring
Yep,
attention
there's
to
also
it.
one that's happening up in Evanston at 2:30, I believe, at the Unitarian Church as well. We have to have our voices heard. We have to get out into the streets. We have to, I have made the drawn the parallels of Greek tragedy, of what happens in the Greek tragedy, and all of it takes place in public. It all takes place outside, and the chorus, who are in a Greek tragedy, is a group of like-minded individuals who are commenting on what is happening here. And the thing when it comes to being in a chorus is, what does it take to get you to get out of your house? Mm-hmm. We need to get out of our houses right now. Mm-hmm. We need to be having our voices heard. We need our bodies to be counted. We need to let people know that this is not acceptable. This is not acceptable. It's not what's going on. And the lies that are coming out of the White House.
That he was run over. I mean, he literally said that. He's such a liar. I mean, anybody can see. I don't care what side you're on, looking at the video. People are seeing different things, but certainly he wasn't run over.
No, he was not run over. And
he said he was run over. I mean, just blatant. It's pathetic that this guy's the leader of the free world.
Yes. And Grandpa just is getting up in the middle of meetings with oil companies, which, by the way, why is he having meetings with oil companies? Why do the oil companies know more about what's going on in Venezuela than Congress?
Because that's what matters to him.
I know, but that's not what we have to. And while he's having this, he gets up and wanders out to go, look at my ballroom that I'm making. It's real pretty. And blah.
You know what? Republicans need to stand up. There are a few that have started to. Last week, a few have voted on the side of Democrats. A handful. It's time, folks. How much are you going to watch from the sidelines and let your leader, your Republican leader, drive our country and the world into disarray? It's time for Republicans in Congress, in the Senate, to stand up. They'd be heroes to both their party and our party.
Well, yes, a handful are coming up, but they can't even agree to put up a plaque to commemorate the police officers.
The Capitol Police.
The Capitol Police from January 6th.
Yeah.
This week was the 5th anniversary of the insurrection at the Capitol on January 6th. On the White House put up a new website that is filled with completely false narratives of the day and forcefully denying Trump's role in stoking the riot, and labeled those who stormed the Capitol as patriotic Americans. This is from our government. We all watched it. We have to believe our eyes and ears. We watched it. We watched it unfold. I remember that day. I remember people was like, come over. And I'm like, I cannot come over and watch any. I have to stay here and I'm glued to this.
Yeah.
We have seen the video of Renee Good, of what happened with her. We have to believe our eyes and ears. And here they are, the White House, our elected officials. You have the vice president, you have the president, and you've got whatever the heck Kristi Noem, Ice Barbie is, Secretary of Homeland Security, calling her a domestic terrorist right out the gate before there is any sort of investigation. It is ridiculous. It is not legal. It is unjust. And you have now the White House, who is actively saying that January 6th was not what it was, what we all saw, which brings me to another 1984 quote: "Who controls the past controls the future, and who controls the present controls the past." Because that is the narrative that they are doing. This narrative works for them, and the reality does not. So they are making stuff up. Yeah. They are reinventing history. History is told by those who are in power, and we are watching it happen in real time. We have seen this week with the murder of Renee Nicole Good, shot 3 times by an ICE agent. You have the president, the vice president, the Secretary of Homeland Security calling her a domestic terrorist, and that the murder was in self-defense, despite multiple videos and eyewitness accounts contradicting this.
Yeah, and people see the same thing and come away with whatever fits their rhetoric and fits their opinion. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy, and I can't believe where we are right now. It is right out of a fascism handbook. He is following in the footsteps of his idol, Vladimir Putin. He wants to be a strong man. He wants to be a strong. He wants to have that kind of power.
That little gremlin, that Stephen Miller.
Oh my gosh. Have you seen the old footage of him when he was in high school? It's been going around. Kimmel had it on his show this week. He was running for class president of his high school in California. And one of his central points of his speech was, janitors are hired to pick up trash. We shouldn't have to pick up our own trash. Yeah. That's what janitors are for. That tells you, that's the insight into his mind. He is a white power, white supremacist in every sense of the way.
Oh, he's just awful.
Homegrown and just
He's
textbook.
Just a weird little gremlin baby.
Well, and they had to literally physically take him off the podium in high school. Because he was spewing this stuff. As a kid, okay?
Yeah.
So there he is.
Yeah, I mean, this is what it all comes down to, like shallow little men who now have gotten great power, and they're just like, it is all personal retribution for like being bullied as a kids because they are all just sniveling awful human beings.
He deserved to be bullied because his thoughts were bigoted and horrible. He's a racist. He's horrible. And, I agree with you, Scott. Every time I see his face, it's just a face of evil to me.
Oh, it's awful. It's everything. Everything is awful. But of course, remember, reject the evidence of your eyes and ears.
Yeah.
Of course, remember, reject the evidence of your eyes and ears.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, we're going to take a break right now. And why not? Let's read a little thing, because that's exciting about what's going on right now. This part about Chicago is brought to you by Team Hochberg. If you're purchasing a new home or refinancing your existing home, call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. Tim called to consolidate his debt and was so happy with David's advice, he left this 5-star Google review. David personally called me regarding my refinance inquiry. After discussing my situation, David determined I'd be better served securing a HELOC instead of refinancing. David then spent considerable time providing valuable guidance and referred me to the KCT Credit Union for a HELOC. David's reputation on our radio for genuinely helping others, even when there's no direct benefit to him, is well-deserved, and I experienced this firsthand. Thank you, David, for your time and integrity. David thanks Tim for his amazing review and strongly encourages everyone to read Team Hochberg's nearly 600 5-star Google reviews. David helped Tim and thousands of WCPT listeners, but he can't help if you don't call 855-563-2843. Visit the website you know and love, 56david.com. That's 855-563-2843 or 56david.com. Lower.com, equal housing lender, NMLS 1124061. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will take your calls and your texts at 773-763-9278. You're listening to Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
The Sports Cubicle.
I could say the Bears' all-time leading scorer. I could say 18-year NFL veteran. But for now, I think I'll just say he's the head coach at Rolling Meadows. He's Robbie Gold. What made you go from playing football to coaching?
I was coaching another high school, fell in love with coaching. Football is a part of who I am, but it's also an opportunity for me to be able to give back and give these kids an opportunity at Rolling Meadows High School to understand what they could do as a group.
The Sports Cubicle, Sunday nights, 9 p.m. on WCPT.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey Progressives, it's Richard Chu, host of Chu's Views weekdays 6 to 8 a.m. Central. We're all anxious for the 2026 midterm election to arrive so we can restore some sanity and much needed oversight to our government. In fact, it's the most important midterm election in American history. and Choose Views will be in the thick of it, bringing you candidate interviews on a regular basis. I'll be talking to Democratic Party hopefuls running for House and Senate at the federal and state level, as well as candidates for governor and other state and local offices.
I am in love with our ability to fight for our rights, to fight for our future, to fight for our freedoms, to fight as our ancestors fought. It's just our moment. This is just our time to stand up and to speak up. We can't give up on this.
If you miss any of the interviews live, you'll be able to find them all on WCPT's candidate interviews page at heartlandsignal.com/candidates. That's Choose Views weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. on WCPT, Chicago's progressive talk for 20 years.
This is a WCPT Civil Rights Snapshot. Many know of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but few know of his right-hand man, Bayard Rustin. Rustin was born in 1912, raised by his grandparents, who taught him the Quaker values of peace and nonviolence. In college, Rustin grew an interest in socialism, joining the Fellowship of Reconciliation, working with them for 10 years before Rustin was fired and arrested for being caught having sexual relations with another man in a parked car. But his time there wasn't for nothing, as it was there he met A. Philip Randolph, who convinced Rustin to meet with Dr. King during the Montgomery bus boycott. Rustin, along with writings from Gandhi, urged Dr. King to accept pacifism as a way of life. Rustin showed brilliant strategies and organization skills, which led to him organizing the March on Washington, having thousands of people attend. However, this partnership would not last, as Dr. King distanced himself from Rustin after Congressman Powell threatened to use Rustin's sexual orientation against Dr. King. Rustin continued to work with Randolph for civil rights and gay rights until his death in 1987. Please stay vigilant about our civil rights. The fight is never over.
You're listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
I'm filmmaker Stephen Cohn. Welcome back to Out Chicago on WCPT.
And welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here and Ellen Miller, keeping it spicy on this chilly day. Hey, tomorrow on Choose Views, Richard Choose will be joined by Ralph Eubanks, author of When It's Darkness on the Delta, How America's Richest Soil Became Its Poorest Land. Sarah Jones, managing editor and co-publisher at Politicus USA, and Rich Logis, founder and executive director of Leaving MAGA. Choose Views weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. Central on WCPT 820 a.m., the Heartland Signal website, Channyn, YouTube, and Facebook. Speaking... One thing I finally figured out what I really want MAGA to say to me and explain to me. Okay. So very often you have people who are just like, oh, well, I don't like what he says. I just like, the thing he does. I don't like his behavior. Yeah. He's a serial, cheater on his wives.
Golf,
whatever. Just he's a cheater. He's got very little small moral, like little compass going on. Like they're like, I don't like what I think he's crude, and I think he's blah blah blah, fill in the blank. Like basically saying I don't like the man, but I do like his policies sort of thing. And I'm like, okay. He was asked by the New York Times, like, what is stopping him? Mm-hmm. And he is saying, I guess my own morality. He said that he is guided by his own morality. Now, most of MAGA know that he's a turd. Mm-hmm. And that he has no morality. So if I don't understand how you can support somebody with no morals whatsoever. That is what I want them to explain, because the policies right now are not helping them. They are not helping anybody except for the tech bros, the giant corporations, not helping like the American public.
But they're being told by their chosen media that they are they are cared about. Their morality, it's his racism that they love. That's what his anti-LGBTQ attitude. That's what they love. Those are the things they love about him. They're never going to admit that. But that's what they love about him.
Well, I need somebody to say that to me. Yeah. Because this is what I am supposing. I agree with you, but like I don't understand. I don't get it.
He says aloud what they think about, and they think that there's some truth to that. Which, what they're saying aloud is horrible. what he says aloud is wrong.
But they're even like,
what?
I don't know. I'm just trying to. My head is just spinning right now because it's just like it is just. It's baffling. It is just baffling.
They're the ones that have the Trump derangement syndrome. They're deranged to think that he is a good person, that he is a capable person, that he has the ability to lead. That's the derangement.
He's lazy. He's lazy too. He shows up to work at 11 and is done by 5. And his count, the amount of time that he spent, and all of this is distraction from his physical decline, his mental decline that is happening. He shows up barely to work. He'll sign some things and wave some stuff around, and then he'll go blow something up or kidnap a national leader or whatever, just as another distraction, because that is to distract from he doesn't show up. He does not show up for the American people. He hasn't shown up for the American people. What he shows up for is the 35% of the country. That's it. He does not show up for everybody. And dwindling. But,
I know.
And again, it's like, if you were just joining us, we spent the first segment talking about, how the nation was rocked this week by the murder of Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis. She was a 37-year-old mother of 3, and she was shot 3 times in the face by ICE. I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
I am too. I'm
and the thing that's what's even more upsetting too is that there's serious concerns that the FBI's inquiry will not be thorough because the they've already declared that the killing was justified. They've called her a domestic terrorist. It is okay. You've got Ice Barbie up there doing her weird little that she does the procedures and everything. There was a huge hiring surge for ICE, and then they took down, and then, of course, the number of days of training is 47. That's where they're... how are they trained? Based on all of this video, there was a great clip that was kind of floating around too from the Philadelphia sheriff's office, and she came out. She's like, "Look, this is not a real officer. Real officers show their faces. They are not masked. A real officer would never put themselves in front of a car."
Back. My friend's a cop. She said we never are supposed to be in front or back of a car. You don't do that. A
real officer would not be holding a cell phone while brandishing a weapon at the same time. These people are jokes. They're
thugs, they're goons, thugs. And they're criminals, many of them.
Yes.
Who were pardoned by the other criminal.
Yes, ma'am. That's what it feels like. It's like Minnesota officials have been blocked from investigating, leaving that to, crazy eyes Kash Patel. I mean, surely there'll be a fair and thorough investigation of the ICE agents' behavior and tactics. It just reeks of corruption, and that's what's going on. There was a former top DOJ official under President Biden who asked the question, are the feds conducting any real investigation of the agent's actions or instead focused on trying to justify what happened by targeting the victim as a domestic terrorist? And that is exactly what it feels like right now.
Yeah.
And on that, let's go to the phone. Our buddy, Michael O'Connor. Thank you so much for giving us a call. Welcome. You're on Out Chicago.
Morning.
Hi, Michael.
Good morning.
You two are absolutely correct. Look, here's the deal. We have been talking about this. We knew that in 2016 that Trump was a fascist. Mm-hmm. It was said so on this radio station. Where facts matter. We have been talking about Trump and his inability to be anything that would be considered a U.S. president. We knew that he was an imperialist. We knew that he was a fascist. I compared him to Hitler back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Look, I've been talking about all of his communications. Look, we've said, like Goebbels, make the lie big enough, people will believe it.
That's his favorite mantra.
You make the lie and you keep repeating the lie, and that is how you do it.
Right. That's what they're doing. We are in the playbook that we predicted quite some time ago. Yeah. Look, I'm on my way. I'm putting my clothes on now. and getting my bullhorn out. Because I'm on my way to the center on Halsted. We need to say Renee Good's name. We need to say that all over this country. As often as possible in public. Because investigation, once again, we are told not to believe what we saw, what was obvious. Really.
Yep. That is George Orwell predicted it.
And this is not brain sciences. Look, I want to say a couple of other things. First of all, I watched the game. I'm not a lesbian. I'm an openly gay man, 68 years old, and I used to play ball with the boys. And I want you to know, and we all should know, that we're not going back. I'm sure I am not going back. That's not happening.
Yeah.
So this is a time for everybody to get up and be visible.
Yep. That's
and you can't be visible. You need to be putting your writing checks to those organizations that defend your right, because at this time we are all in it. We are all under attack.
I agree.
Yes,
and the rallying cry that George Floyd, also from Minneapolis, ironically, what was created out of his death and people coming out in droves all over this country. This is what needs to happen in the name of Renee Good. She needs to be the rallying cry.
We have been doing. Look, this is history repeating itself. And we know that it is history repeating itself because we know history. This isn't rocket science. They're killing us.
Yep.
That's the bottom line.
You're true. They are thugs that are terrorizing the streets, and they're killing us.
Free reign by the president of the United States to do so
with complete immunity, apparently. So, Michael.
And the last thing I want to say is, Caleb Johnson looks like my last lover.
Oh, he is adorable.
He's fine.
And you're very lucky
if he. My last lover. And he's definitely a class act.
He is.
All right.
He is a class act.
Have a good day.
Wait, Michael, before you go, you said that you are heading to the center on Halsted. Yeah. Is there something that is organized, that is planned there, or are you just going because...
The visual for Renee Good.
Oh, there's one there, too. Okay, there's a few. There's one at Oz Park at 4 o'clock. What time is the one at Center on Halsted?
I think it's at 4, but I'm getting ready because I got people picking me up.
Okay.
Good
but I just wanted to,
again,
it's people like you, Michael, who have been a grassroots organizer for decades that are coming out of your house. They're coming out of your house.
I am on a cane. And if I can be out there, I think everybody should be out there.
Amen to that. Thank you, Michael. We love you.
Thank you, Michael, so much. Thanks for calling in, and thank you for showing up as you always do. That's the thing that I'm trying to focus on the idea of community, the idea of whether it's like your immediate social network, whether it is the neighborhood that you live in, whether it is the LGBTQ community, whether it is like the community in the workplace, and how to strengthen and broaden that. There is nothing better than taking action to really help fortify a community. I need to check. Can you check to see when the Center on Halsted thing?
Sure.
Well,
I think
happening.
Nationwide, it's at 4 o'clock.
There's a nationwide thing. So here's the deal. We have to have our voices heard. We have to show up. We have to lift each other up. We have to say what is going on is not right. It is not legal, and it is not moral. What is happening in our country right now? So if you are out there and there are some vigils we know there's one that's going to be at Oz Park at 4:00. There's one at a Unitarian church up in Evanston this afternoon at 2:30. Did you find some information, Ellen, about?
Yeah, except the pop-up here.
There we are.
It looks like it is today. I'm looking for the time. It says they're honoring her.
All right.
I'll figure out.
Well, you can head to centeronhalstead.org and you can find out when that's going to be happening. But if there's someplace, we have to be seen. We have to be heard. And there's no better way to do that than be with them
yesterday.
All right. Well, we'll see what's going on. Hopefully there's another one that's going on here. Look, we should take a break right now because talking about community and talking about doing good for the community, we're going to be speaking with Channyn Lynne Parker, who is the CEO of Equality Illinois. She's going to be joining us on the other side of a break. So please stick around. You're listening to Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
The Lightning Strike Radio Show.
So in the Project 2025, you take a test for fealty and loyalty.
Oh, you have to take an oath.
They believe in a unitary executive theory for personnel in which everybody reports to the president. There's very little hierarchy, and it would be chaotic. And they all have to be loyal to him. And he can make any decision he wants.
Okay, folks.
Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch, circa 1933.
Yikes.
Sundays at 9 a.m. WCPT 820 a.m.
You know that you can listen to Chicago's Progressive Talk on WCPT AM 820. Stream us live at WCPT820.com and on the TuneIn Radio app. Or you can ask Alexa, Siri, or Google to play WCPT from TuneIn. But now you have another option. We're simulcasting our programming overnights. 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. on WSBC AM 1240 for a clearer reception in and around the city. Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820. And now overnights on WSBC 1240 AM, where facts matter.
If you're looking to purchase a home after a divorce, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. Today, meet Charlie, field technician, income $100,000 a year, had an amicable divorce from his wife. Charlie wanted to purchase a home while he was in the middle of a Chapter 13 bankruptcy to be close to his 3 kids, so he called Team Hochberg for a free consultation. Great move. Team Hochberg loan officer John Hendrickson answered Charlie's questions, secured a bankruptcy court approval so Charlie could purchase a new home to be close to his 3 kids. Let's review. Team Hochberg loan officer Johnny Hendrickson helped Charlie purchase a new home after his divorce while in the middle of a bankruptcy so he could be close to his 3 kids. Team Hochberg's helped thousands of listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. That number again is 855-563-2843 or visit that website you know and love, 56david.com. Lower.com, equal housing lender, and MLS 112-4061.
WCPT Replay.
I am joined once again by David Neer. He is the publisher of The Down Ballot.
The polling of the Democratic Party, the favorability of the Democratic Party, obviously is in the dumps. But the reason why is because Democratic voters are unhappy with the Democratic Party. You know, Republicans are always going to give the Democratic Party a bad rating. But the really interesting thing is that when the choice is between someone you're pissed at for not doing better, in other words, Democratic voters' views of the Democratic Party, and the guys wrecking the country, you're going to still go with the Democrats, even if you're not particularly feeling that warm about them. 2026 is going to be a referendum in the biggest possible way on the GOP and Trump. And I think the important thing for Democrats to do is just keep the focus on Republicans and Trump.
Keep listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
Welcome back. I'm writer and activist Stacey Anshin. You are listening to Out Chicago on WCPT 820.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here along with Ellen Miller, just spicily moving forward through this day. And thank goodness we've got folks like the amazing human beings that are at Equality Illinois. Equality Illinois advances civil rights and social justice by inspiring, advocating, and mobilizing the community to create a world that is healthy, just, and fully equal for all LGBTQ people. And joining us now is the CEO of Equality Illinois, Channyn Lynne Parker. Hey there, Channyn. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. Hey there.
How are you holding up, my friend?
Right? You know, I'm holding the line like everybody else out here. You know, that's it. But I'm happy to be here. And yeah, the fight continues. So happy New Year to you all.
Happy New Year to you. And again, as I've been saying, I don't like to do New Year's resolutions. Instead, I kind of like to focus on words then concepts to kind of keep things moving forward for me. And this year, my word is community. It's about strengthening communities. It's about broadening communities. It's about lifting up community. And I cannot think of a better organization that does all of that than Equality Illinois. Looking down the road, what issues are most disconcerting for you?
You know something, I'll tell you. I would say what is most concerning is really defending our gains, okay? We have come so far. We have fought so hard for fundamental humanity, right? The recognition of our marriages, safe and fair and equitable treatment in the workplace, so many of those other things. So really right now, just thinking about how are we focused on defending our gains. I'll tell you one thing we are super proud about, though. We did get the Equality for Every Family Act across the line, right? So we're super happy about that because, again, families, LGBTQ families, are being attacked all over this country, and we want to make sure that Illinois families remain safe. So we're so proud of that.
Yes, as you should be. And, and again, during these times of darkness, you have to look for the light and the joy of community. And I know Equality Illinois is getting ready for their 2026 gala. Seems just a spot for that, for finding that joy and that light and community. What is in store for the evening that's on the January 31st?
Oh, my goodness. So, again, for those of you who have been to our gala, as Kelly Cassidy calls it, she calls it queer prom.
Yes.
But again, it is a night of fabulousness and celebration and celebrating our victories that we are still here, but also I would say we're just celebrating not only progress, but how we protect it. Just really highlighting that we have in fact made some real gains. So what we anticipate is a night that consists of VIPs, a night that consists of a parade of dignitaries, a night that consists of fun and food and drink and dancing, but also to a night of inspiration, right? So you can expect all of those things bundled into these couple of hours. And it's so important because, like you said, joy is something we cannot view as a luxury.
Right.
Joy is a necessity.
Thank you.
And this administration is key. It is hell-bent on making us feel isolated, on making us feel like your voices don't matter, give up, abandon all ye hope, right?
Yeah.
No. Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that. No. Come out and enjoy yourselves with us. The fight will continue.
Yeah, I mean, that is something that joy is a way to, it sounds so silly, but it's like an act of resistance in these times.
It is.
When you've got leadership who is saying, just you said, people are, you have no hope, blah, 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 like all that stuff.
Yes.
No. You are hit the nail right on the head, my friend. Who were some of the folks that are going to be honored at the Equality Illinois 2026 Gala on January 31st?
Yes. So we have Dave Bentlin, who is a longtime historic advocate in Central Illinois, who has been doing this work. And to lift him up in this moment it's just such an honor to do so. Such an earnest, such a wonderful individual who has touched so many lives, and we are so excited to be giving him his flowers. And also ACLU, who you all know has been doing incredible work from the moment of this administration. I mean, goodness gracious, you talk about spinning out the lawsuits. Goodness gracious, yes. But we need that. We need that type of activism. We need that type of momentum, and we're not going to let people or our opposition forget that we know who our heroes are. We know who our warriors are, and we're going to lift them up and celebrate them tonight.
Well, I went several years ago at the Hilton, and it was a wonderful night. I need to get back there. You feel like we talked about. You feel joy being there. You feel the camaraderie. There's, the people that are there are your brothers, your sisters, and we all need each other now more than ever. And I wanted to find out a little bit more about how you feel about Equality Illinois' mission right now, as compared with what it was even a few years ago.
Yeah, that's great. So, a few years ago, life looked pretty hopeful for us. Not to say it looks hopeless,
right?
But some years ago, we couldn't have fathomed that we would be fighting for our lives in this type of way yet again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say, in comparison to a few years ago, and I'm going to put a positive spin on this, it is the reminder that we must never, ever, ever get too comfortable in believing our rights are a one-sum thing.
Yeah.
We must never, ever, ever allow ourselves to get comfortable again to believe that we've crossed the finish line, when in fact there are folks who are actively dismantling or attempting to dismantle everything that we've accomplished, and they move that goalpost over and over again. So we have to be right there with them, ensuring that what we fought for, what we died and bled for, still remains intact. So that's what that looks like. I would just say, in comparison to years before, now more than ever, it's important that we ensure that our protections are durable and not just symbolic, if that makes sense.
Yes,
right?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, our protections cannot just be symbolic. They cannot be. They have to be durable. And Illinois also can't be a refuge that's just on paper. No, we are here to ensure that all of the things that make Illinois safe are institutional, right? That the hospitals are providing care, that legislation is put into place that actually protects us, all of these things. So that is, to answer your question, that's what it looks like from the years before, is still fighting, still ensuring that Illinoisans, LGBTQ Illinoisans, are safe, but now it just has a deeper meaning that says, like, these rights, these fights that we've won are very fragile, and they can go away. And I hope that we never forget that ever again.
Sad but true.
Yeah. And I do love the fact that, just a reminder, this is Equality Illinois. It is not Equality Chicago. It is for the entire state that we are coming together to celebrate and to honor the work of folks that happened downstate, where we needed more, it would seem, than the protections that we have here in Chicago.
Yes.
And I just, again, this is for all of Illinois, so that we all get health care, so that we are all protected by the law. And that is the work that Equality Illinois does, 24/7, 365,
all day
long. And, I am so grateful that you are now at the helm of this organization, leading the fight, because you are always so crystal clear with your message, and it's always a message of optimism, and a reminder that, the fight for civil rights is never over, and we do.
And
go for it.
I was going to say, can I say this too?
Yes.
I know that a lot of the listeners out there know me from a direct service capacity, but what I want to say is, while direct service is near and dear to my heart and is deeply important, we have to remember is that policy is what undergirds all of the services and all of the safety nets. So what we do with one policy can protect thousands of people, right? So though the work may seem inglorious, right? Though the work that we do may not feel as visible as, let's say, a direct service organization, trust me, what we do is so deeply important that if we go away, you have no idea the devastating impact that will happen. So that is why Equality Illinois must remain and must be supported.
Yep, and the best way to support Equality Illinois is by heading over to the gala, the 2026 gala. It's January 31st at the Chicago Hilton. For tickets, go to equalityillinois.us. Channyn, Lynne, Parker, you are always a balm for my soul. You are a shining beacon of light and fabulousness. So thank you for joining us, and we can't wait to see you at the gala on the 31st.
I look forward to it. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. We've got to take a quick break, and when we come back, there's more Out Chicago right after this.
Where are they now with Art and Bobby's Saturdays at 10 a.m.
When we didn't have all that thing, we just
Social
had TV.
media stuff,
people would sit on the porch, and
So the
probably your
lights- so the
neighbor would go,
street lights
"Little
went out."
Carlos,
Right.
I'm telling your mother," or she'd come over, or he'd come over and give you a whack, and you go on. And it wasn't a bad whack, but it kind of woke you up and said,
It taught you respect.
Yeah.
You know, had you not gotten that discipline, you would have been a different person. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Where are they now? Two guys that grew up in Chicago, just like Richie Z.
Dive deeper into the heart of the news and stories at WCPT 820 and across the Midwest by checking out our website, heartlandsignal.com.
It's the coverage I can count on every time.
For the latest news updates, in-depth analysis, compelling stories, comprehensive election coverage, live streams, and thought-provoking opinions, head to heartlandsignal.com.
When I need to know, they're there.
They keep me informed and updated wherever I am.
Stay informed with WCPT 820, your go-to source for where facts matter.
This is WCPT telling you how you can shop blue. The owners of Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream, Magnum Ice Cream Company, is currently silencing them. Now, why would they silence Ben & Jerry's? Oh yeah, that's right, because they were speaking negatively about the Trump administration and even prevented the company from releasing a flavor titled Peace in Gaza. Ben Cohen, the co-founder of Ben & Jerry's, has started a hashtag Free Ben & Jerry's to get their rights to speech back. Magnum Ice Cream Company owns several brands. So instead of talking about the brands that they own, let's talk about some ice cream companies that they don't own that are all for free speech. Johnny Pops, Dove Ice Cream, Tillamook, Häagen-Dazs. And for those of you who prefer frozen yogurt, Stonyfield. And if you still want to give Ben & Jerry's a chance, that's up to you. But make sure you only buy Ben & Jerry's and none of the other brands owned by Magnum Ice Cream Company. So maybe, just maybe, then they'll realize that people like their ice cream without a side of fashion. This has been WCPT telling you how you can shop blue.
Facts matter now more than ever. This is WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk. We're your source for truth.
NBC News Radio, I'm Lisa Carton. More protests are planned across the country again today in response to the fatal shooting of a Minnesota woman by an ICE agent. Thousands showed up at protests in Minneapolis, Portland, New York, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Houston, Seattle, and other major cities. The protests were also in response to the recent Border Patrol shooting in Portland that put 2 people in the hospital. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry says there's a deep mistrust of federal agencies following last week's deadly ICE shooting. During his appearance on NBC's Meet the Press, Fry called for state agencies to start being involved in the investigation into the incident.
If it was an FBI investigation that was done jointly with an investigation from the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, we could have had some trust.
His comments come as protests have been held in response to the deadly shooting of 37-year-old Renee Good. The feds have claimed the victim was attempting to harm the agent with her vehicle, while Democratic leaders say the video they've seen disputes that. Iran is warning President Trump that any U.S. attack would lead to Tehran striking Israel and U.S. military bases in the Middle East. We get an update from Scott Carr.
Reuters says Israel is on high alert for the possibility of a U.S. intervention to support protests in Iran. That current unrest there started in late December when the Iranian currency plummeted to an all-time low against the U.S. dollar, sending many shopkeepers in Tehran out into the streets in anger. An internet blackout imposed by Iranian authorities late last week is still in effect, and some residents in the Iranian capital tell CNN the blackout has galvanized more people to join the protests.
The 83 annual Golden Globes will be handed out tonight in Beverly Hills. Big names are nominated this year, including Emma Stone, Timothée Chalamet, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Ariana Grande. You're listening to the latest on NBC News Radio.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Tired of all those talking heads down the dial who think they're always right?
People need to just calm down. It's gotten ridiculous.
Welcome to WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Quite frankly, I get most of my news from you.
This is WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk.
Mind over matters.
Dr. Amy Harris Nuan, as you know, this show is about challenging you to think differently, to make different choices in your life, to take action, to create positive outcomes in your life. So I want to challenge you to look at your life holistically. Where am I satisfied? What areas need attention? And then go to work, take an action what you need to do.
Mind Over Matters with Dr. Amy Harris Nuan. Sundays at 10 a.m. on WCPT 820.
Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm-fresh taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, with more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties, classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
I'd like to welcome you to WCPT AM's Out Chicago. Think of us as Sunday brunch with your gay best friends. Now please welcome your host, Scott Duff.
And welcome back to the second hour of Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller.
Yes, indeed.
Just rolling along. It's been a very salty and spicy kind of a show.
As it needs to be on a day like this.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. And Sunday brunch needs a little flavor.
Yes, it does.
we got plenty of it. Like, even in the break, we're just still talking about what's going on.
We are.
It's just,
dedicated.
And I'm getting mad.
Yes.
But hey, we do have a great second hour lined up for you a little bit later on in the show. We're going to be speaking with queer historian and author Owen Keehnen. He's got a new book. Put this up here. Gay Chicago Memories, 1300 North Wells. It chronicles the lost world of the 70s and 80s in Old Town. And nightlife.
I'm going to learn some stuff.
Yeah. It's well, you were
in the 70s. I was not
you
here.
were not here.
I was in the suburbs in college.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. In the
and
80s.
Straight. So
and straight.
None of that was on my radar.
There was always there was a crazy, even going into the 90s, there was a little chunk of in Old Town.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, the Bijou was there.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Manhandler.
The Manhandler Saloon, I believe, is on Halsted. It's a little bit further north up there.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's on Halsted.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Yes. Allegedly. I would never
was in
have
there
gone
once.
there. Me too.
Oh, boy. They have some videos going on those screens.
They most certainly do. You can.
It takes a gal back.
You can learn a lot.
Way back to my days.
It takes you way back.
Oh, my God. I remember that.
Yeah, so we're going to get an earful a little bit later on from Owen Keehnen. But look.
Yeah.
I was very excited about this. Earlier this week, we had a chance to talk with the one and only Suzy Eddie Izzard. She's going to be in town for a special 2-night event benefiting Chicago Shakespeare. We got to talk to her about her career, taking on the entire play of Hamlet and the importance of the arts, particularly at this moment. And she has some lovely and wise things to say. So here's our conversation with Suzy Eddie Izzard. She is a Tony-nominated and Emmy-winning star of stage and screen, a tireless activist, and one of the most brilliant comedic minds of our time. And she is returning to Chicago for Suzy Eddie Izzard Talks Shakespeare and Stuff, forsooth, a 2-night-only special event at Chicago Shakespeare. Joining us now is the one, the only Suzy Eddie Izzard. Welcome to the show.
Welcome, Suzy Eddie.
Thank you very much. So, yes, people can choose. I've added Suzy to my name, so you can choose Suzy or Eddie or Suzy Eddie, like Millie Bobby Brown, who is now Millie Bonnie Bon Jovi, or Billy Bob Thornton, or Jean-Marie something or other. It's basically, I've gone to a 3-name person. That's what I've become. Whereas my brother goes Eddie, then Suzy, then Suzy, then Eddie, and he just picks and chooses as he jumps around.
Nice.
So that's where I am in this crazy world.
Look, before we start, I have to goof on you for a minute. I have a tendency to burst into tears, so I will try not to do that. Dressed to Kill was the first special that I saw of yours, and your mind, your style, it's so fresh, so stream of conscious, off the cut, and so smart. You are a comedy inspiration for me and for so many people that I know, and the fact that you were doing it with a full beat of makeup was just icing on the cake for this little gay boy in the 90s and early 2000s watching you do your work. And I just want to thank you first off for all that you have given us. So thank you.
Well, that is quite all right. It's it was quite a journey. I was, when I was 5, I thought, hey, I'm something trans or whatever. I want to throw a dress on, but I just didn't tell kids about it. Then I'm 23 and I'm thinking, 21, 22, 23, thinking I better come out. Actually, from about 19, I told people and sort of got honest about it. Then I was out from 23, and now I'm 109, and it's all so much easier. So, but just being honest about it, being upfront, even though there's a lot of people, saying this, saying that, trans people aren't going anywhere. So we're here, and everyone just needs to get used to it. So, but I'm doing Hamlet now, as I just did one of the last performances. One of the last was at the Chicago Shakespeare Theatre, and now I'm back there to just talk about that and comedy and life and acting and running marathons and anything in between. So that'll be fun.
So you tour internationally, yet you keep returning to Chicago. What is it about this city and its audiences that keeps you coming back?
Well, you tell me. This is a Chicago thing, isn't it? Because you were really the west of, as America in its history was moving across the country. Chicago was the big place, and it was the kind of like the Western Age, and then it kept going further and further west. But it has been for, was it coming up to 200 years now, a big and important city. And with Second City being there, the comedy heritage there, it's just a kind of a no-brainer. The theatrical tradition and the comedy tradition there. And I have 2 day jobs. I have comedy and I do, and drama. And I'm now firmly, just like Shakespeare, having gone from his comedies to his dramas and his tragedies. That's what I'm doing as I'm touring Hamlet around the world. And 50,000 tickets sold now, so I'm really happy with that. And that's just, and people are not expecting that. People think, is this a comedy version? No, it's a dramatic version. The family tears itself apart. But taking it to Chicago responded very positively, and so I'm very happy. I'm even thinking I should come back and do Hamlet back on the second time round as I go through. As we're doing the 3rd leg of Hamlet in America, playing LA now, and Austin, Texas, and then up to Toronto in Canada, then down to DC and Philadelphia. So it's great. I just love performing this thing, and I love talking about it. But I can, be bright and breezy and talk about many different things.
Well, I'll tell you what. When you were doing Hamlet here, it's all anybody talked about.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean that. It's all I heard about. So kudos.
That is great. That's a Chicago taste. There's people. The citizens of Chicago just are bright and open-minded and willing to take on different things. And if someone's going to do a solo version of Hamlet, as I did, they say, "Well, let's have a look at it," as opposed to, "Oh no, you've got to play by the rules set by someone with a beard."
Beautiful. Well, thank you for appreciating us.
So are you going to be bringing back Hamlet to Chicago Shakespeare?
I would like to, but it's not. There's no date set at the moment.
All right.
At the moment, we're just we're playing other cities, having been through Chicago and the Shakespeare Theatre, and also they're booked up way ahead, so we have to juggle dates and things and everything. So
right.
that would be a plan that I would be happy to do, but there's nothing locked in.
Don, I was hoping we get some breaking news here, some hot goss going on. Because look, here's the thing. First of all, for anybody tackling just the role of Hamlet, that is no small undertaking. But of course, someone who ran 27 marathons in 27 days, decided to you know what? I'm going to do the whole damn play. How has this experience been for you? I mean, it's
well. Let me say a couple of things on that. One, yes, I have run a lot of marathons. I do have good endurance, but that's physical endurance. This is mental endurance, a different thing. And lots of people are doing solo productions. You look around, solo dramatic productions are like 10 a penny now. So there's nothing particularly special about that. So I'm just going in there. And also, Olivier set up the National Theatre in Britain. You may not know this, but Larry Olivier, Sir Larry, set up the National Theatre so he could give himself some really good roles. And then you have a whole bunch of other actors who play the other roles around him. So I think he did that for the country, of course, but also for Larry Olivier, who was very ambitious and had a previous career in Hollywood, had two careers. First one where his wife was knocking it out of the park and he wasn't getting a look at it at all. And the second one when he came back and he was so Laurence Olivier and on a different wicket. So I'm doing that. I haven't got a National Theatre at my back, but I do think in an entrepreneurial way. I think a previous president said that the French have a fantastic word for entrepreneur, which is entrepreneur. I don't know, he said it the other way around, but that's what I'm being. And I consider that very American thing. Go build it, go do it. If you build it, they will come. And that's what I've done with Hamlet. I built it and with Selena Cadell, my director, and my older brother, Mark Izzard, who did the adaptation. He's the academic of the family. And we chose our adaptation of it and how to present it. And my career is so odd that I had to bring something different to the stage because no one's gone through that weird route that I have. Not no one, but very few people have gone this route because it's not. I didn't go to drama school, as none of Shakespeare's actors went to drama school. So my performance must be more akin to what they were doing 425 years ago.
Authentic, for sure.
Well, I'm going to say that. Yes, let's go with that.
So again, like as you brought up, your career has just been kind of kooky pants. Like it's been all over. You have a very envious career, I would say, because you've done it all.
Well, carry on. Sorry.
No, it's all right. Do you ever feel like you need to, as you're like now entrenched in this Hamlet world, do you ever feel like, oh, I need to lighten things up and dip my toe back into the world of comedy and stand-up just to kind of refill that well? Or do you just how do you choose your projects? Because again, they're all over the place.
Well, first of all, I just want to say I'm going to take that as a quote. Your career is kind of kooky pants.
Yes, so
please. I want to do that.
Put that on every poster.
Yeah, that really does kind of sum me up. But secondly, I do. I still have the comedy is still there. I've taken it a bit underground. But I will be performing. You can quite easily see me in Spanish. I will be doing mi espectáculo todo en español. So I'm already doing it. I was in Paris on the 29th of December performing in French. I wanted to tour Germany and Austria again in German. So I'm just going to keep pushing on the languages. I will do it in English. And I can do that. It's there because that's the beautiful thing about solo performing. Above all, the beautiful thing about solo performing is you can say, hey, let's do it. Let's go there and do that. Let's do a one-off gig right there. And that's an unusual thing to do. Normally you say, okay, we'll give it a 6-month thing and we'll have to see who's available and raise the money. No, I can just breeze on up and do Hamlet. I'm going to do Hamlet in India. It's going to be fantastic. And again, I want to be in the middle of somewhere out in the wilds of India and just performing Hamlet because they do love their Shakespeare there and doing it in the open air. And I could do that because I've decided I can do that because having being the first, apparently I'm the first stand-up to headline at Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles. So I'm very proud of that. And so, because I used to be a street performer for 4 years, so I know what it's like. I had this confidence performing outdoors, which is what all the actors used to be like. All the Shakespearean actors, they were performing essentially outside. There might have been walls, there was no roof, and that's what we had when we were street performers. And so this is my training. My training's been unusual, but I'm hungry to get out there and test things. As David Bowie said, who unfortunately passed away 10 years ago now, it is coming up to the anniversary, he said, be always slightly out of your depth so that you're slightly pushing away and struggling to make things happen. If you just, say, oh, I can do this, it's quite easy, that's no good. So yes, I can do stand-up, but let's do it in different languages.
Words to live by. So what's in store for Suzy Eddie Izzard Talks Shakespeare and Stuff Forsooth coming next weekend, the 16th and 17th?
It is more this. You could ask your questions. I can tell you everything of things of going through my brain and how to get things going. I do have this sort of 11 years between dropping out of university and my career taking off, which I think is interesting to talk about if anyone's in creative work and they're trying to get their thing off the ground. It's always good to talk to people who couldn't get things going and then could get things going. But I also have worldviews, life views. Everyone has the right to a fair chance in life, and I'm pushing for that. And that's why I run the marathons to raise money. So it's about over 5 million in US dollars, Good 5 or 6 million raised at 130 marathons now. And it's so I just, anything they want to ask me about, talk about, and I think I'm quite interesting. I'm quite a naturally boring person, but I've cloaked myself with interestingness, so much interestingness that I'm steeped in it. Yes. So that's what you'll get, an interesting evening. I'm talking with Ed Hall, of course, who's the artistic director there, and he's got interesting background, so you can ask any questions you want, and it'll be an entertaining evening and hopefully informative as well.
Can't wait.
I know. Wonder. So, you're coming back here to Chicago Shakespeare Theater again with Suzy Eddie Izzard Talk Shakespeare and Stuff Forsooth on the 16th and 17th. Can you, in your mind, what is the importance of the arts, especially during, shall we say, these rather spicy times which we are living in?
Well, I think it's important because you can only do creative work with a truth driving behind it, and truth has got a little bit lost somewhere in the mix. And so the bottom line of drama is to be truthful, and it's the honest intent in putting your work in to try and make something happen, something interesting, something that moves people, something that touches people, and enhances life and move things forward. That's got to be of some value today when a number of things are happening which are taking people back, making people more scared. I mean, be brave and curious. I think hopefully most creative people are brave and curious. We've got to be brave and curious and not fearful and suspicious. And the fear and suspicion that's being pushed out in certain places around the world, that's not helpful. It's brave and curious. Hello, how are you? What do you do? Oh, right. What are you doing in your country? Oh, you're different. You do things in a slightly different way to us. Okay, well, that's interesting. Can we learn from you? Can you learn from us? That is the way forward. Make connections, not break connections. That has got to be the way forward, and not some other choices that other people have put forward. Yeah. And so the creative arts, they do that. You've got to work so hard to grab people's imaginations and take them to a different place. So it's usually a very positive thing. There are very few people doing creative work that are really horrible. I think they've got to be sort of positive in some way. I think. Right. I'm just trying to track through people. Are there any horrible people doing creative work? I'm not sure. I don't think so.
No. Yeah, we need it now more than ever, though, for sure.
Yeah. But brave and curious is what I would describe your career and just how you live your life. You bust out of the gate. Well, apparently not bust out of the gate. It took 11 years. But when you showed up being your authentic self and being like, this is who I am, deal with it or move on, sort of thing. And then you're always constantly like exploring different ideas, especially with your stand-up and your solo work that's going on there. Brave and curious, I think, are two words that we can definitely hold on to during these rather tumultuous times.
Yeah. Yeah, and this time will pass, so everyone, if you see a negative, do a double positive. This is the thing. I started developing. I didn't believe in Brexit. I still don't believe in Brexit, and I don't think it really happened. So I developed my stand-up shows by ad-libbing, workshopping ideas, coming up with that. And of course, you do that in English. But I decided after Brexit happened, I thought, no, I'll do it in French. So I went to Paris and jumped on stage for 2 months, 2 shows a night for 2 months, saying Bonsoir Paris, je suis ici pour improviser, et pourquoi pas? And just muck about in a second language, sometimes I get stuck. I just did a French interview tonight, so I'm really happy that it took my confidence to another level, and my ability in French. My older brother Mark, he said to me, the French like you more now, not because they like your comedy more, they just like your French better. And because and that could be true, because my ability with tenses has got a lot better. I slow down to get the tenses right, and or I just ask questions or stop an interview in the middle and say, "What does that mean? Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire?" So yeah, and that's not on the list. I do things off the list. That's an interesting thing. So there is a list of, you should do this, you get a comedy, you get a sitcom, you do a thing, do a film. I didn't do that. I just do a comedy, don't do a sitcom, don't do a sketch show, don't do a film. Go and do it in French, then do it in German, then do it in Spanish. And I think, well, I love that list. That's a pretty interesting list.
Yeah. So again, it goes back to that curiosity and bravery right there. So,
well, hopefully, I'm trying to impress myself. I'm trying to do things.
You're certainly impressing us.
You're certainly impressing us.
Say that.
I'm trying to do things that make me go, who the hell did that? Oh, I did that. Oh. Well, I'll spend more time with you.
Well, if you want a double dose of positivity and get some bravery and curiosity, there are still a few tickets left for Suzy Eddie Izzard to talk Shakespeare and stuff for Sooth at Chicago Shakespeare Theater on January 16th through the 17th.
And it's all a charity. It's a charity as well.
Yes, it's a charity too. It's a fundraiser. So go to chicagoshakes.com. Suzy Eddie Izzard, thank you for everything, for your insight, for your curiosity, for taking the path less traveled, and just thank you for being always forging your own path and being an inspiration for so many people.
And travel safely, and we'll look forward to seeing you on Friday. I cannot wait.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
I managed to make it through the entire thing without crying.
I was so proud of you, Scott.
Thank you. It's small, those little tiny victories. The tiny victories.
You held it together,
girl,
my friend.
I'm telling you.
Loved interviewing her.
She's wonderful. She's smart as a whip.
Oh, she's smart.
Yeah, her brain goes fast.
Oh, my God.
So we were just trying to catch up because I'm kind of a dum-dum.
I know.
I'm a little bit of a dum-dum.
She makes all of us look like a dum-dum.
Well, hey, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to another smarty pants, Chicago queer historian and author Owen Keehnen about his new book. So stick around. You're listening to Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
The Hal Sparks radio program.
Practice those points that you care about. If you care about Medicare for all, or you believe in a public option system instead, or a pathway to universal care through a public option, those kind of things, there are multiple strategies on how to get there. Educate yourself on those.
Hal Sparks, Saturdays from 11 to 1 on WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk. Think Theory Radio.
Theoretical astrophysicist Dan Hooper. If there's someplace a light year away from now, there's nothing I can do now that can influence that place in less than a year. No matter what I do, no matter how I build my quantum machine, or no matter what I entangle or what I quantum teleport, nothing I can do here can affect that until a full year has passed, allowing light to get there at the speed of light.
Think Theory Radio with Damian Perdue. Saturdays at 6 p.m. on WCPT 820.
This is a WCPT Civil Rights Snapshot. The COVID-19 pandemic showed the bravery, dedication, and intelligence our doctors and nurses had, regardless of their gender. However, this was not always the case. Back in the 1800s, the idea of a woman doctor was laughable. When Elizabeth Blackwell applied to Geneva Medical College, the students voted on whether or not to accept women into their school. The students agreed to it as a joke, thinking it would be funny to see women fail in their field. Elizabeth felt compelled to become a doctor after a conversation with a dying friend who told her that her ordeal had been that that much worse because her physicians were all men. Many of her fellow students and the town shunned her, and one professor tried to scare her out of his class. Regardless, Elizabeth stayed determined and graduated, but after, the dean of her school said he did not wish for more women to enroll. Despite the sexist discrimination, Elizabeth contributed to the first generation of women doctors in America and even opened up her own hospital. And in 2017, for the first time ever, a majority of medical students in the United States were women. Please stay vigilant about our civil rights. The fight is never over.
WCPT replay.
Speaking with Wendell Young, the vice chairman of the Chicago Wolves, and he is the newest inductee in the 2026 AHL Hall of Fame class.
There's one goalie in particular that I think you had a front row seat for history, and that's Manon Rheaume when she became the first female NHL player in that preseason game.
I walk into the rink, and Phil and Tony Esposito and they're kind of talking. They're like, we got to put Manon in. Everyone's here. The rink is packed. All the media's here. But what happens if she plays bad? And I go, this is your worry? They go, you're going to play the first 2 periods, Wendell. She's going to play the third. And I go, you're going to let her sit around for 3 or 4 hours, worrying, being stretched, warm up, and then tight, and then have to go in and waiting for that. I go, start her. If things don't go well for her, I go 10 minutes in. I said, I'll go in and just say that was our plan. We're just splitting the periods. And then I go, that's your out. So she goes in and plays unbelievable. I go in, and the rink starts chanting, put the girl back in.
Keep listening to WCPT 820. Because facts matter.
Because facts matter. You are listening to WCPT 820.
Hey, this is Kathy Richardson, America's sweetheart from Jefferson Starship, and you're listening to Out Chicago.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ella Miller, rolling along. And a Monday on Live, Local, and Progressive, Joan Esposito will be taking your calls and talking to Dan Vach, public policy reporter at the Chicago Tribune, Amy Westervelt, award-winning investigative reporter who is the editor and founder of the investigative multimedia newsroom Drilled, and the author of the forthcoming book brought to you by How Corporations Warped the Truth, Conned the Public, and Broke Democracy. Carlos Roa, editor-in-chief of the IQ Latino and contributor to Telecuento News, and legal analyst Jill Winebanks. Live, Local, and Progressive, weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Central on WCPT, 820 a.m., heartlandsignal.com, and TuneIn. Very fancy.
It is. I love Jill Winebank. She is something else.
I wish we weren't on the radio so we can actually see what her brooch is.
Oh, yeah. She always wears
a pin. She always wears a pin. Well, we've got our own fancy, too, right over here. Because Chicago queer historian and author Owen Keehnen's new book, Gay Chicago Memories, 1300 North Wells, chronicles the lost world of the 70s and 80s queer nightlife in Chicago and reminds us of a revolutionary era in gay Chicago. And joining us now is our good friend, Owen Keehnen. Owen, welcome to the show and Happy New Year.
Well, thank you, Scott. And congratulations to you and Ellen on 13 years. That's
bananas, right?
It's hard to believe.
That's amazing.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Years.
We are lucky 13, and we're very lucky and fortunate because it gives us the opportunity to meet incredible people like you, my friend.
Well,
congratulations on the book. It is, as always, where do you find these people? That's my big question.
A lot of times I know quite a few people, so I will connect with people and then they'll connect me with people. And a lot of it is just getting people to sort of get it back into the memories of the time, and then they remember more, and then other people join in, or they talk about talking to me, and it's very much a community effort.
It's like that. What was that? That Prel commercial? And they tell two people, and they tell two people, and so on, and so on, and so on. We got bouncing and behaving air.
And that's my marketing plan. Is Prel.
Fantastic. What I think is, if you talk to people these days, when folks think of the center of the LGBTQ community here in Chicago, they think, of North Halsted, formerly known as Boys Town, but that wasn't always the case. And your book focuses on a small stretch in Old Town. Can you tell our listeners, like, what was that strip like?
Okay, sure. Well, there were like little pockets of LGBTQ activity all over. So the thing that fascinated me about this is that it's the 1300 block of North Wells. So it's one block, and it's the east side of the street. And it's just, like if you took a picture of the street, it would be the Bijou Video Sales at 1363. And then you go down a couple doors, and there's Den 1, which later became Carol's Speakeasy. And then if you go next to that was the Bijou. And then when you go south of that were 2 adult bookstores. And then when you went south of that was a place called the Glory Hole Tavern. And so it was this huge concentration. And then to the north, just across the intersection, was where Gay Chicago started.
Right. I mean, it's
so
like...
It's a lot of... The thing that fascinates me is, like, I saw a drawing of this, of the streetscape, and there's nothing there today to remind you that anything was there.
Yeah.
And so it's always kind of that thing that I want to, I don't know, just preserve, that things weren't always the way they were. They were very adaptable. They were sort of doing it as it came. And we were just discovering ourselves as community, you know? And that whole journey to me, from like being isolated and in fear to coming into community and coming into power, is what that whole generation is about. And just then celebrating the freedoms. And it's just incredible. You know, I love capturing that sort of vibe.
So glad you did and continue to. As a kid that grew up in the Chicago area, we would venture down when we were in high school by train with a destination of going to Wells Street because it was a bastion of counterculture. As a young straight girl, 16, 17, I was obviously looking. My thing was the hippies and the head shops, you know.
Bizarre.
Bizarre, and so many others. And you worked there. Okay, so I probably met you. I bought my first pipe there, but and snuck it home to my suburban home and hid it in a drawer. But you know, that was
life of service. What can I say?
Thank you.
And I appreciate it. But you know, you obviously did a lot of research. What was the research project like, and what was the most unexpected find that you came across?
Oh my gosh. I think the most shocking and unexpected thing was before I started researching, because I've done, you know, I know kind of have vague ideas of things. But when I was researching the Glory Hole Tavern, they had in the back as like an option if you wanted to go like in the courtyard, you know, back there.
Yeah.
There was an above ground open swimming pool that just everybody'd hang out with. They might have, I know. And just sort of,
what?
Well, it's just crazy. Exactly. It's just inconceivable. And there are so many things that because of, I don't know, I mean, rightfully so, but because of insurance and everything else that you just can never imagine happening in an environment. You're just like, no, what insurance company would cover this
an above ground pool in a bar, you know?
What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? You know,
what could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Alcohol and drugs.
Right? Well, you know, what's so interesting about this particular block, it feels like not only is it a product of gay liberation, but it's but of sexual liberation as well. You write, pride was power. Coming together brought strength. Decadence was good. Outrageous was in, and the underground was above ground. Kind of what Ellen was saying, where you're going for the counterculture vibe. So and
the thing is, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go.
I was just going to say that the thing is, too, in bars like that, before, you know, Stonewall, everyone was so ruled by fear, it seemed like, in so many things. that people started coming together, and and they realized that, like, all these myths that you hear about gay life, you go to Carol's Speakeasy, you're going to be, well, the gay life isn't that much of a lonely life, I guess, because the place is packed with people, and lo and behold, they don't seem like degenerates. Like you've heard your whole life. Yeah. And suddenly you find out you have more in common with the people here than a lot of times you do with your own families. It takes bars, I think, at the time, because they had so much importance on them. They were community centers. They were activist centers. They were so much. They filled so much more of a role, Yeah, so I want to capture that a lot, too.
That was all we had at that time.
Yeah.
Did it make it hard to reconstruct the stories since everybody was so, hidden and underground?
Every time I do this, whenever I do anything when I'm doing bar, and I'm more surprised that people remember, truthfully. I mean, if you ask me, like, oh, do you remember when you went to the closet back in the 80s? I'd be like, oh, yeah.
Vaguely.
I remember mirrors.
There was alcohol involved. So.
But I just, because it's fun, because it's like a puzzle. You get little pieces, and all the time you're just trying to make the picture more and more like something you can step into. So some people might remember the sticky floor of a bar. Other people might remember the smell in there, or other people might remember that the bathroom didn't have a lock. There's just all these little pieces that kind of can come together to try to make history as much of like time travel as I can, rather than sort of reporting history.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Because
and a lot of times it's hard to make history seem pertinent,
Yeah, well, okay, so then, which leads me to my question, so what is the importance of chronicling this time period, particularly from a nightlife perspective?
Well, one of my main reasons for doing this is because our history is often looked upon as like Stonewall, AIDS, gay marriage today. And it's, as someone who lived through the AIDS era, or the worst of the AIDS era, it irked me to no end that so many people were just being, it was like, 243,000 AIDS deaths, or you know what I mean? And they were just becoming these statistics. And it's like these people were so much more than the way they died, and they were so much more than tragic. They were actually, they were celebrating. Their life was one of celebration. And I think to chronicle the way they live is just maybe a way to compensate for the way they're seen today historically is kind of the way they died, truthfully, and it's horrible.
Yeah, well, but that's why I agree with you. I think that this work is really important because you are actually documenting like real lived experiences by real people. I think younger generations of LGBTQ folks, they don't quite get. I mean, I'm not younger, but I'm a little bit younger, where like, so I didn't quite understand like the whole, like once gay liberation, how like the freedom and the sexual liberation that happened, and the joy and just the thrill of being able to express that openly, must have been.
It was time to party.
Huge. It was time to party, indeed, and then to have this little chunk of Old Town, which now, it's like, okay.
Yeah, barely resembles its old former self, yeah.
Well, I mean, but most places, even like Lakeview doesn't,
everything
which
changes.
is everything changes. Yeah. But I think there's something really, really necessary in terms of like letting younger generations of queer folks knowing that, like you said, there was joy, there was spontaneity, these were complicated people living complicated, rich lives, and just celebrating and having a ball.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is like the means for celebration was also the fact of just coming together and be able to do that without fear.
Yeah.
And so the importance of sort of documenting that, because if we don't document our history, you know what's going to happen. Somebody's going to write about it, and then something tells me it's not going to be.
Yes.
Or if they do write, if they're allowed to write about it. Yeah.
We're glad you're right. We're glad you're writing about it, Owen.
I know, and I just love it. And it's also like filled with just like amazing stories, and I love little tidbits. You know, like you were talking about the Glory Hole Saloon, how they weren't even able to get a liquor license because of the name that they had chose until somebody said that it was like the Glory Hole Mines that were in, what was it, California? Is that where it was? I can't remember. But I was just like
Colorado.
Colorado. Thank you. I knew it was a sea state. But it was, you know, just having just those little tidbits about even, you know, just to give you a snapshot of the prudish or more conservative quality of the city at the time. You know, it's like I don't know. These things are just. I love your books. I love your books.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, they're just the perfect size for me to read too.
I really want, the thing is too, is a lot of times, you know, younger people, it's sort of, history is boring. And my whole point of view is, you know, then you do not read the right kind of history. Because it's not boring if you read the right stuff.
Girl, you ain't just whistling Dixie right there. You know?
If you could bring...
But, yeah, but not only that, but it's hard sometimes, and I get it, if you're younger, and it's really daunting to sort of look when there's a history before you and be like, well, this great thing happened, and then this great thing happened, and then this great thing happened, and see it from kind of a disconnected point of view. But people know all about going out to a bar and having fun with their friends and feeling safe and feeling threatened and knowing what it's like to feel like peace after so long of, like, you know, jumping out of your own skin or just being uncomfortable or whatever. You know, it's something that's universal.
Yeah.
And I think that acceptance and finding your tribe is something that every generation needs to do. And I shouldn't say it. I don't know how they need to. I think as LGBTQ people, yes, we need to do. We need to get involved and try to move forward, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's showing people, you know, there's also the celebration and the struggle. I think a lot of younger folks take for that's me speaking broadly, but I think some of them take for granted the rights and the freedoms and openness that they are enjoying
it's
right now.
It's a natural thing.
Like it's a natural, like that wasn't always the case. You know, like you couldn't see into bar windows; they were all tinted. You know, like. That was the thing. So I think it's a really, really.
That's why I include.
No, go ahead.
No, go on.
I was just
going to say that's.
You go. You're the guest.
Okay, thank you. I was just going to say that's why I chronicled sort of the police raids too, and I wanted to get those in detail because can you imagine can you imagine that today? I mean, it's just that it's. The things that were done to challenge our power, which was very threatening, was crazy. It was just, we weren't hurting anyone, you know?
Well, I mean, you can draw a line to the immigrants today who aren't hurting anyone, who are going about their business at Home Depot or a construction site or landscaping, who are being ripped away. And so this kind of mentality, you know, of racism and prejudice and bigotry continues. And that's why these struggles have to be documented so we can learn how to continue to fight back and push back. Thank you for...
Oh, yeah, because it's just sort of that ongoing just cruelty for the sake of, you know what I mean? It's that same thing. It's the same beating down to lift yourself up kind of thing.
Exactly that.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, folks, if you were looking for a fun, juicy read about a particular look, I was in Chicago just at the tail end of that that time period. Like there was still a little glimmer of it going on in the 90s when I was here. And actually, I remember I was doing a show at Northwestern, a David Mamet show called Edmund that goes into the seedier parts of Chicago. And we were instructed by our director to go down to certain bookstores and video places to go. And hello, 1300 North Wells, come on. It was great. So if you would like to...
You could do like a cross section on the block too. You could get a few different examples for your research.
Right, indeed. But again, if you would like something that's like a very juicy and just a part of Chicago queer history, make sure you pick up Gay Chicago Memories, 1300 North Wells Street. Go to Unabridged Books and get it there.
Yes, right there.
There you go. You can get it wherever your books are sold, but go shop local. Do that. Owen Keehnen, thank you again for keeping our histories and our stories moving forward. And thank you for coming on the show today. It's always a pleasure.
Of course. What a lineup. I was
right?
The show ahead of time, and I was like, wow.
Well, remember, you are a part of that lineup. So thank you for all that you do and for making history vibrant, alive, and titillating.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
That's my motivator. All right.
Owen Keehnen, thank you so much.
Take care.
We've got to take a quick break, and when we come back, it is the final thrilling show-stopping moments about Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
Tom Hartman.
Autocrats generally, particularly those autocrats who have narcissistic personality disorder and are sociopaths, as is, in my opinion, Trump, typically do not tolerate high-profile people around them. They want to be the star of the show, and that's certainly been the history of Donald Trump. The only people that he will tolerate around him are people who, when he says, kiss my ass, they fall to their knees.
The Tom Hartman Radio Program, weekdays 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on WCPT 820, where facts matter.
And now Martha Stewart for Skechers. When I make a dish or embark on a craft project, I always use the finest, most fabulous ingredients and materials. Which is why, when it comes to footwear, I love Skechers. Because Skechers is the comfort technology company and uses the most luxurious, innovative materials and designs to make wondrously comfortable footwear with all the fits and features like Arch Fit and Skechers' world-famous air-cooled memory foam. It's exactly the way I'd make shoes.
Find Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
DQ presents The Sound of Summer Calling. Hey, it's me, Summer. I know you're busy with Beach Days Little League games and all the other fun in the sun, but you gotta get to DQ ASAP Pronto right now. The new Summer Blizzard menu is here, and it brought 5 iconic summer flavors, like new peanut butter puppy chow and s'mores. Oh yeah, it's back. Oh, that's my other line. Everyone is pumped about this new DQ Summer Blizzard menu. I gotta go. See you at DQ. Get it in the app. DQ. Happy tastes good.
WCPT Replay.
Americans are sick of losing. Sick of losing when you get on an airplane and your seat is now half the size it was before. Or sick of losing when you just cannot afford to figure out where the food is coming from for the rest of the week. Or you're a young person and you think, I am never going to have it able to own a home. Right? I mean, Americans are sick of losing. They want a party that's going to fight for them, that's going to say, you know what, there is plenty of money in this country, and we don't need to take it all from a few people. We need to make more of it and make it so that that profit is yours too, that you have a stake in the way this country is going. And I look at what's happened, these mass mobilizations, and I think, wow, we are going to get there. I just think this movement is going to produce an energetic democratic government that does things at all levels that we haven't seen in 100 years.
Keep listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's progressive talk from TuneIn.
Hey, this is Mark Patton, and I'm from Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street, and you're listening to Out in Chicago.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller. And hey, just to let you know, Monday on Driving It Home, Patty Vasquez will be joined by Jess Piper, Executive Director of Blue, Missouri. Then on Tuesday, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is Patty's guest, along with nationally syndicated columnist Heidi Stevens and Wisconsin candidate for governor Kelda Roys. That's Driving It Home with Patty Vasquez, weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Central on WCPT 820 a.m. The Heartland Signal website, TuneIn, YouTube, and Facebook. And also, hey, you do know that we are in delicious podcast form.
Mm-hmm.
We actually have two, because you can listen to the whole show, or you can listen to featured interviews that we have going on. Just head to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeart, YouTube, and Amazon Music. Just search Out Chicago with Scott Duff and Ellen Miller. Or you can visit our podcast page at our website at heartlandsignal.com/podcast. Just look for our cute little mug. Click on that. And while you're there, rate us.
Yeah, rate us, because you never know. We could be nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Podcast next year.
Yeah, yes, the Golden Globe for podcast. There we are. Nice segue. Nice. That was just seamless, because the Golden Globes are tonight. And look,
Yes, they are.
I am woefully behind.
I think we all are.
Yeah, because my thing is with the dog being, dogging his stuff, and you are problems with Maggie and Sweet Maggie, but we haven't been watching a lot of,
not as much as we want to.
Where our TV is a place where it's hard for my dog to go, and we like to be with our dog right now. So we haven't really been watching a lot of stuff. But the Golden Globes are tonight. I always love the Golden Globes.
I do too.
Because it's just Hollywood having a big old party. Very rarely do you get television and film together in the same room.
And podcasts.
No.
Yes, they're nominated.
Are they really?
Yes, I wasn't kidding when I said that. Yeah.
Oh, because they do the video thing.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah, Best Podcast. Call Her Daddy, Good Hang with Amy Poehler, Smartless, the Mel Robbins and podcast, and Up First are up for Best Podcast.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll go for Smartless. I think they're great, those guys.
And I like Good Hang with Amy Poehler as well.
Well, Amy Poehler is just a delight.
So fun
She is
to
just a
listen
delight.
to. Yeah.
All right, so do you have any predictions, any big things that are happening?
I think that Sinners is going to do very well in the drama category. I'm guessing. Who knows for sure? I haven't even seen it, to be honest. I haven't seen any of those in that category.
I've seen two of them. I've seen Frankenstein and I've seen Sinners.
Okay, and of the two, do you have a favorite?
I think I like Sinners more, but let me tell you, Frankenstein, that is just gorgeous. It is a beautiful film.
I hear good things.
It is, it goes on, in my humble little opinion, it goes on a little too long, and everything he gets too precious with everything. It's like every moment is a moment as opposed to letting things kind of happen and do their thing. But holy smokes, is it stunning. It is like a feast for the eyes.
So nominated, but maybe won't win. So.
No, but there's also a lot of talk about Hamnet and stuff like that.
Yeah. And it can be a precursor for what happens, for the Oscars as well. The Best Motion Picture Musical or Comedy, which that category always kills me. One battle after another.
Hilarious.
Hilarious film. But I did see it this week. And it's one of those movies that you're watching
it stays with you.
It stays with you during the next. Kathy, I'm like, are you thinking about the movie last night like I am? She goes, yes, I am. Really, really, I think it's going to take that category.
All right, because it does have Leo, who he still hasn't gotten did he get an Oscar?
I thought he did.
Did he finally get one?
He got an Oscar.
I don't know. I don't think he had. I know this is the Globes, but he's a fan favorite right there.
Sean Penn, OMG. He will. I'm sure he's nominated. I got to scroll down and see, but I think that good chance of winning that category. Animated, I haven't seen any.
And
of those.
But also there's in Chicago's own Chase Infinity was nominated
Who
for
I heard
One
was-
Battle After Another.
You told
She
me.
comes through my line.
She came through Scott's line at Trader Joe's.
She comes to the Trader Joe's.
So she's still based out of Chicago, it
Yeah.
sounds like, if she's grocery shopping.
Yeah.
I love hearing that.
That's so great. But I do think also the comedy category is for the movies is going to be a little bit of a more tightly contested thing because No Other Choice. I think it's having a kind of a Parasite moment. Another Korean film, and also Begonia because you've got Emma Stone and the Greek man. They've been winning all the they are incredible partners.
I can't. Yes,
the director.
Yes,
Yorgos.
Yorgos.
Yeah. I don't know. They might have captured lightning in a bottle again.
We will find out. Must see TV.
Look, the only person that I'm really, 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 really rooting for is Amy Madigan in Weapons.
Did you see the movie?
I most certainly did. And I remember sitting in the movie theater going, she is going to win all the prizes. She is so fantastic in this movie. She is so good. She plays Aunt Gladys, who is not what she seems. And she was having a ball. You could just totally tell.
Well, I'm in another category for musical or comedy, best performance by a female actor. I'm rooting for Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue. I think she nailed that part.
Oh, that'll be interesting too, because I've heard wonderful things about that movie. Kate Hudson for me is always it's a shame she burst onto the scene in Almost Famous as Penny Lane, and she's in my mind she's never been as good. And it's great to hear that she's back doing something that's really great. Plus, Hollywood royalty going on there with the daughter
of Goldie. Yes.
So anyway, I'll be tuning in. I can't wait for the fashions. Can't wait for the thing. Although it is on CBS.
What's it on?
It's on CBS this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they'll show it. Maybe they'll actually let people have their fair share of political speeches.
I hope so. We'll be tuning in for that.
We will be tuning in for that. And on that note, we hope that you tune in next week because we're done with this week's show. I want to thank all of our guests, Channyn Lynne Parker, Owen Keehnen, and of course the wonderful, the one and only Suzy Eddie Izzard. Devin, thank you so much for everything. Paul, thank you. And also thank you for helping out with the Suzy interview that you earlier this week. Ellen Miller, I hope you have a fantastic week. Go Bears, go. Beartown, Chicago Bears. Whatever, there we are.
We'll be here. Right? The game will be next Sunday, so we'll be here before the next game.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. And I will be there with bells on. And I'm Scott Duff, and until next week, stay proud.
Around the town, Chicago.